listen to me. I need you to wake up right now. Yeah, you, because what I'm about to tell you, it's not just information, it's revelation. You've been out here grinding, chasing dreams, running in circles, and wondering why you're not getting results. But I came here today to drop a truth bomb on your life that's gonna change everything. See, they didn't tell you that the real secret to success isn't talent. It ain't luck. It's not even motivation. It's focus, laser, sharp, no distraction. I won't quit until it's done. Focus. And the truth is, most people fail not because they don't have what it takes, but because their mind is everywhere except on the mission. You want success? Then you better get locked in like your life depends on it, because guess what? It does. Let's go. Focus is the new hustle. In this generation, everybody wants to be seen grinding. They want to post about the hustle, stay up late, wake up early, run on 3 hours of sleep, and show the world how busy they are. But listen to me, being busy is not the same as being effective. Running hard in the wrong direction will never get you to your destination. What separates the people who actually win from the ones who just look like they're trying is one thing: clarity. When you know exactly what you're chasing, why you're chasing it, and how to get there, you become dangerous. You stop wasting time, energy, and emotion on things that don't align with your purpose. Focus allows you to cut through the noise, the distractions, the opinions, and the pressure. It brings you into alignment with your goals so that every move you make builds momentum. While everyone else is scattered, trying to do 10 things, chase 5 dreams, impress 3 crowds, you stay in your lane, eyes locked on the prize, and you gain ground they don't even see. That's power. You don't need more hustle, you need more intention. The grind is not about motion. It's about direction. Focus sharpens your grind. It gives meaning to your mornings, clarity to your choices, and fire to your follow-through. Without it, you'll burn out chasing things that don't matter and wonder why you feel empty. But when you focus, you go from wishing to working, you go from doubting to doing, you go from reacting to creating. That's the truth they don't tell you, because it's easier to sell chaos than commitment. But you didn't come here for hype. You came here for transformation. Focus forces you to stop playing small and start choosing what matters. It demands that you silence the noise, the drama, the scrolling, the comparing, and the complaining, and do the real work. The kind of work that builds legacy, changes families, shifts generations. Focus creates consistency, and consistency, not occasional brilliance, is what leads to greatness. Most people can be excellent for a day. Very few can be locked in for a year, but the ones who do, they change everything. They build, they lead, they grow, they impact. And it's not because they're smarter, faster, or luckier. It's because they knew what they wanted, and they refused to let go. They didn't chase everything. They locked into one thing and gave it everything. That's what real hustle looks like. Distractions are dream killers. You can have all the talent in the world, the best ideas, the biggest goals, and the most powerful vision. But if your attention is constantly being pulled in different directions, you'll never get there. In today's world, distractions come dressed as opportunities. Notifications, social media, comparison, opinions, entertainment, noise, it's all designed to steal your focus. You think you're just checking your phone for a minute, but that minute turns into an hour. You think you're multitasking, but really you're multi-failing. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who do the most. They are the ones who do what matters and ignore what doesn't. They guard their mind like a vault. They treat their time like gold. They protect their focus like it's the most valuable thing they own. Because it is. Mental discipline is the game changer. Discipline is not just waking up early or hitting the gym. It's the ability to say no to things that don't serve your purpose. It's about training your brain to stay locked in when everything around you is trying to pull you away. Focus isn't natural. It's built. It's forged in the fire of repetition, sacrifice, and intention. Every time you resist a distraction, you build your mental muscle. Every time you choose to keep going when your mind wants to wander, you grow stronger. The world is loud. Everybody wants your attention, but you have to decide what gets in and what stays out. That's your job, No one is coming to do that for you. You can't expect massive results with partial focus. You can't expect to live a life of impact if you're constantly letting distractions rob you of your energy. You weren't built for average. You weren't designed to scroll your life away or binge through your dreams. You were built for purpose, but purpose requires attention, it requires presence, it requires you to lean in when others check out. Distractions might give you temporary comfort, but they will never give you permanent progress. And every time you give in to them, you push your dreams further away. Mental discipline is what separates the starters from the finishers. It's what separates the talkers from the doers. Everyone has goals. Everyone has dreams, but not everyone has the focus to see them through. That's the real test. Can you stay locked in when life gets loud? Can you stay the course when comfort calls? Can you ignore the noise long enough to build something that lasts? Because if you can, then nothing can stop you. The power of purpose, driven focus, is the fuel behind every extraordinary achievement. When you know why you're doing something, when your purpose is crystal clear, focus stops being a chore and becomes your natural state. Most people are distracted because they're disconnected from their purpose. They wake up without a reason, drift through the day without a mission, and wonder why they feel empty. But when your purpose is real, when it's personal, when it's bigger than you, it pulls you into alignment. You don't need to force discipline. You're driven by vision. You're no longer chasing random goals. You're answering a calling. That changes everything. Purpose makes you unstoppable. You stop negotiating with excuses. You stop playing with distractions. You start moving with intention because now your grind has meaning. Purpose gives you clarity. When you're focused on a cause greater than comfort, decisions become easier. You're not wasting time overthinking or overanalyzing. You're not dabbling in 10 directions. You're drilling deep in one. Focus becomes your superpower, and you begin to work with a level of intensity that most people can't even understand. It's not about hustle for the sake of hustle. It's about showing up for what matters. Purpose cuts through confusion. It silences the doubts. It keeps your eyes on the vision when your environment is screaming for attention. You're no longer led by your emotions. You're led by your mission. And when you move like that, you get different results. You walk into rooms with a different energy. You attack your goals with a different fire. You rise above average because average doesn't speak your language anymore. Purpose-driven focus is the reason some people build legacy while others just live for likes. You're not here to impress. You're here to impact. You're not chasing trends. You're creating transformation. You're not reacting to life. You're directing it. And that kind of mindset separates the powerful from the passive. When you wake up every day knowing that what you're doing matters, you bring a level of excellence to your work that becomes unshakable. You're not just clocking in. You're showing up on assignment. That means you don't back down when it gets hard. You don't fold when it gets slow. You don't quit when you get tired, because your focus is rooted in something deeper than feelings. It's grounded in your why, and that kind of focus doesn't fade. It sharpens with time. It grows through challenges. It stretches when life gets heavy, and it shines when others dim their light. Saying no to average is one of the most powerful moves you'll ever make in your life. The truth is, most people don't fail because they don't have what it takes. They fail because they keep saying yes to things that have nothing to do with their greatness. You can't build a life of purpose while entertaining distractions disguised as comfort. You can't unlock extraordinary results while settling for ordinary choices. Every time you say yes to scrolling, to gossip, to meaningless habits, you are saying no to your goals. Success requires sacrifice, and sacrifice means saying no to what feels good right now so you can have what's great later. It means being willing to be different, to stand alone, to turn down the noise when everyone else is dancing in the crowd. Average is easy. Average is everywhere, but greatness is reserved for the few who are willing to focus, to commit, and to say no over and over again until the world understands they can't be bought, distracted, or delayed. The people who win are not always the most talented, the smartest, or the strongest. They're the ones who made a decision that average wasn't an option. They made a pact with themselves that mediocrity would never be their standard. They stopped living to fit in and started living to stand out, and that decision changed everything. Because when you say no to average, you start attracting opportunities that match your mindset. You stop settling for less and start building a life that reflects your true capacity. You begin to realize that the more you eliminate, the more you elevate. Saying no is not about being harsh, it's about being honest. Honest about what you want. Honest about what's getting in the way. Honest about how much your dream really means to you. You can't say yes to everything and expect to win. Saying yes to your dream means saying no to wasting time. Saying yes to focus means saying no to drama. Saying yes to legacy means saying no to laziness. It's not always easy, but it's always necessary, because every yes carries weight. Every yes leads you somewhere, and if your yes isn't leading you toward your vision, it's leading you away from it. When you get serious about your focus, your priorities shift, your energy changes, your circle evolves, and your results begin to reflect the choices you've made in secret. That's where the power is, not in loud declarations, but in quiet decisions made with ruthless clarity. Time management gets all the credit, but the real game changer is focus management. Everybody talks about how to organize their calendar, how to squeeze more into the day, how to be productive. But none of that matters if your focus is broken. You can plan your day down to the minute, code your planner, and set every reminder in the world. But if your attention is constantly scattered, you won't execute at a high level. The most successful people don't just manage their time, they master their attention. They understand that time is limited, but focus is the force that determines how powerfully that time is used. Two people can have the same 24 hours, but one creates momentum, impact, and results while the other stays stuck. And the difference is how they manage their focus. Focus management means being intentional with what you give your energy to. It's about knowing what deserves your attention and what doesn't. It's not just about doing more, it's about doing what actually moves the needle. That means cutting out the fluff. That means letting go of busy work that feels productive but gets you nowhere. It means stopping the habit of reacting to everything and starting the discipline of creating from clarity. Most people don't lose time, they lose focus. They start their day with goals, then spend hours trapped in distractions, constantly checking their phones, reacting to emails, responding to everyone else's urgency, and forgetting their own vision. Focus management shifts that. It puts you in control of your mind, your energy, and ultimately your results. High achievers aren't superheroes. They're focused. They've trained themselves to lock in on what matters and block out everything else. They know how to protect their mental space like their future depends on it, because it does. They don't just work hard. They work clear. They don't just show up. They show up with intention. That's what separates the ones who talk about potential from the ones who actually produce results. If you want next-level success, you need next-level focus. You need to stop letting your environment dictate your energy. You need to take back your mind from the notifications, the endless tabs, the noise. You need to set boundaries with your attention the same way you set boundaries with your time. Focus is what multiplies your effort. It's what turns ordinary hours into extraordinary progress. When you manage your focus, you create flow. You get into a rhythm where time bends to meet your purpose. You stop surviving your schedule and start dominating your direction. That's the secret the world won't. The 1% rule is one of the most underestimated yet powerful principles in achieving success through focus. Everybody wants big wins overnight, massive transformations, viral moments. But true growth, real results, legendary impact, they come from mastering the small things daily. The 1% rule says this: if you can just get a little better, just 1% better every single day, The compound effect of that focus will lead you to places most people never reach. It's not glamorous, it's not loud, but it works. Because while everyone else is waiting for motivation to strike, waiting for the perfect moment, you're building, you're improving, you're refining. That small daily focus becomes your edge. Over time, it becomes your advantage. And eventually, it becomes your greatness. Most people underestimate the power of consistency because they overestimate the importance of intensity. They think success comes from doing something massive once, when in reality, it comes from doing something meaningful consistently. The 1% rule is about showing up every day with intentional focus. It's about doing the work even when nobody's watching. It's about making the extra call, reading the extra page, doing the extra rep, having the extra conversation that sharpens your vision. You don't need to leap every day, you just need to lean forward. Every single day you focus in, even for a short burst, you're rewriting your habits, reprogramming your discipline, and recalibrating your mindset toward excellence. Focus fuels that 1%. It's what keeps you coming back when the results haven't shown up yet. It's what separates those who start from those who finish. Because focus builds momentum, and momentum is what creates the breakthroughs people call lucky. Success isn't a mystery, it's a result. And results don't come from randomness. They come from focused, intentional action repeated with discipline. That's the truth most don't want to hear because it requires patience. It requires commitment. It requires being okay with progress that the world doesn't see yet. But that's where greatness is born. In the unseen, in the quiet, in the disciplined focus on getting just a little better every day. The 1% rule doesn't just change outcomes. It changes identities. When you focus on improving daily, you stop seeing yourself as someone who wants success and start seeing yourself as someone who creates it. You become the kind of person who honors the process. You trust the journey. You don't need to force growth. You allow it by focusing on what you can do now, not later. That's how you win, not with giant leaps, but with focused steps taken consistently over time. Teach you. Because it's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters most with relentless clarity.